Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome to Queer Games Heck Yeah, where we play through. We're playing through a bunch of little indie queer games, mostly to take screenshots as part of the Queer Game Festival. I'm Luke Miller. I'm a game developer working on a game at the moment called The Beat about a closeted gay detective. I help out with the festival, so it's exciting to be here to play another game. I'm trying to mix it up. I'm trying to get a bit of experience streaming. I'm trying, seeing what works and what doesn't work. Just let me tidy up my thing. Today we're looking at an Outcry. I know nothing about the game. I go into them cold. So, on your caveat emptor, beware, buyer beware. Did that make any sense? That was pretty garbled. Wait a minute. Let's just take a sip of water and reset. What I'm trying to say is that I don't know what's coming up. So if you aren't in the mood for that, stop watching. Not that anybody's watching. But if you stumble across this in the future, because it could be rude, it could be dark, it could have politics you don't like, it could be political. A lot of people don't want overtly political stuff. And I kind of get that. I understand. I'm cool, I'm hip, I understand. Does everything need to be political? I mean, everything is political, probably, but does it need to be in-your-face political? It probably does. But does it need to be saying I'm political and getting in your way all the time? Well, once again, yes, it probably does. But I understand why people would resent that. What have we got? It's a game called An Outcry. It's available on Steam. So I'm not giving out the web address. Just go to Steam and Google it. It looks super interesting, just based on the little snippets I saw on the website. So let's get going. When I loaded it up, it was the world's smallest window on my monitor. I was like, this game is about 20 pixels by 20 pixels. But we figured out how to enlarge it a bit. I don't want to go full screen on these games, because I think, I use a thing called OBS to stream. And the less kind of complications you give it, the happier it is. All characters portrayed in this story are fictitious. Any resemblance to existing public figures is both incidental and inevitable. Okay. Please note that an Outcry asks for your full attention. Minimize distractions while playing. Exploration will improve your experience. This is the second game in a row that's given us a little essay at the start. Now, from a game dev perspective, I completely get it. Because it's you've got to on-ramp. It's not like a book. If you pick up a book, you know how it works. You open it up, you read the first word, and then go from there. But with a game, every game is different, even the ones made using the same frameworks. And so as a player, when you pick up a game, I guess you have to teach them how to play the game each time. You have to let them know what's about to happen. But as an artist, doesn't that kill you a little bit? Shouldn't have you made this thing so pure that people just pick it up and experience it? And if you're making, in my case, the detective game, and it's meant to be all intense and abyss, staring into the abyss kind of thing, it is a failure that you have to have a tutorial, I reckon. That's what I think. I know logically that's not the case. But then, right, you cross a line, I reckon, because you got I can kind of understand why you have a tutorial, because people kind of do need to know, you've got to press this button for this thing to happen. But then if you have to put an essay at the start of your game saying, this is how you're supposed to feel about it. I don't know. Not that this person's done that in this case. I'm just thinking it through myself, because I've kind of gone through this process recently myself. What do you put up front? This game deals with numerous heavy topics. View content warnings. Oh. Sure, I guess so. This game contains one or more instances of sudden loud noises, flashing images, suicide, recreational drug use, blood, gore, transphobia, and animal death. The animal had it coming. Do you wish to opt out of depictions of animal death? Yes. Because, we're on stream. I'm pro animal death. But I understand that, I'm sharing this with the rest of you. QK, please prioritize your mental and physical well. This game is promising me a lot. Like, it is saying this game will destroy you if you're not mentally prepared. And I'm like, give it your best shot. Over finishing or even playing this game. Thank you. Oh no, all these buttons. Okay, what have we got? Arrows to move, Z space to interact. I can do that. X, C is menu. Oh, we can play with the gamepad. Let's try that. And we've got headphones. Okay, alright. Here we go. Ah, beautiful. If you are a game dev, you make PC games. I know it's not always possible depending on the genre, but if you can, make it controller friendly, because I reckon I did a survey of people that play my types of games, and a third of them report that, so it's 28% or 38%, no, I think it was like 30% plus. They all report that they do plug like their computer into a TV and use a controller from their couch, which is what I do as well. Gosh, I've given a whole bunch of essays today and we're only like 1 second into the game. I'm just going to turn the music down a smidgen. It's good music. Already I'm getting a really good vibe off this game. Distant bird calls welcome the night. An itch. No matter how far you walk, you'll never feel like you're there. Standing up from their chair, the unnamed tosses a book to the ground. The itch intensifies, they forget. I can't skip the text. This text scroll, it's slow. Shoes get pulled over their heels. Shoes get pulled over their heels. A jacket wrapped around their shape. The door is opened. It's a good looking game. I'm just blown away this year on Queer Games Heck Yeah at just how hecking good the games look. They're just so heckin' beautiful. Definitely think maybe it's a COVID thing, like a pandemic thing, that just people have kind of, like, digitization of the world has sort of leapt like 10 years into. But just, I think the quality of game, maybe the tools are maturing as well, but the quality of the games this year has just been exceptional. Like, what is this, the 8th or 9th game we've played as part of Queer Games Heck Yeah, and not a single one have I gone, oh, this is a bit creaky. They've all been like nailed their aesthetic, nailed their tone, nailed their content. It's unbelievable. Ooh. I think we're the unnamed. We've got a little bit of a Daft Punk look happening. They fill their pockets for the desired items. Their cigarette, their lighter, their keys. I love that there's like a trigger warning about, you may stub your toe in this game, you may fall in love, but, you're a smoker. Heck, they forgot all of it. Going for a long night. Basically, the only words I'm going to read out from now on are the swear words, and I'm going to substitute them with the word heck. They need to get their mail downstairs. Their wrist is slender enough to do that without keys. Their addiction is a different story. They need a lighter and cigarettes. Not the first time they've made the rounds looking for that. There's a lot of time to kill, enough to bum smokes off every one of their neighbours. I think that's code for, oh man, I'm loving this sort of Mega Drive, Look, we've got happening. Mega Drive, a game console from the 90s that I read about in a museum. Oh, we're avoiding the light? No. Okay. The thing in my gamepad, I think I've got an off-brand gamepad because it was pretty cheap. It was like a lot cheaper than it should be. And I was like, and it's a little light, but maybe they're all light. But anyway, to this day, I often wonder when I'm playing a game and if there's any drift in the controls at all. I'm like, is this because I have an off-brand gamepad? Let's knock on this door. Oh. I'm getting like Fifth Element vibes off it a bit. A film I saw in a museum. Mr. Schmidt opens the door. Strong odor of burning cigarettes fills the air, overwhelming even to the unnamed trained nose. Schmidt's fingers are clamped around a smoke. From what little of his apartment they can see through the crack, it is furnished entirely with natural wooden tables, cupboards, and bookshelves. You at my door at 10 p.m. Oh, great little character art. And the sprite is talking as well. This game's quality. Yes, me at your door at 10 p.m. I thought you had retired. Now, when we're on stream, I always try to play the most evil, drama-filled options I can as default, because I think bad decisions make good drama. So I'm gonna say I thought you had retired. I've been retired for 5 years, you clown. Now what do you want? Retired as in gone to bed. Yeah, I was hoping to rob you? Well, young man. Oh. I just think this guy has tried to stab us with his words. What a heckin' meanie. One could just say I am, well, just just being kept up by you. And by an extensively detailed, sizable model, good British ship, the Annabel Lee. Speaking of which, oh, can I see it? Heavens no, go to bed. The unnamed sighs. Conversations with Schmidt typically don't go differently from this one. Maybe Mrs. Eisen will give me what they need. Or better yet, Anne. I love in games where they just say, oh, maybe I should talk to Anne. And like, I don't know where I am, I don't know who I am, I don't know what this place is. Miss Yilmaz? They think that was her name. Honestly speaking, she's probably the neighbor that they know the least about. So all of my neighbors. Their paths briefly cross from time to time, specifically when she is following her janitorial duties around the building. As the unnamed knocks, an exhausted voice calls, I'll be right there. Soon, Mrs. Yildirim opens the door. From behind her, the unnamed can faintly hear two young boys arguing. Good evening. Good evening, Mrs. Yildirim. That is almost my name. I'm sorry. Mrs. I am still married. Ah, off to an easy start. Oh, misnaming people goes both ways, I see. What did you want to talk about? I've been feeling isolated. How have you been, madam? Do you smoke, Mrs. Yildirim? I mean, none of these are particularly mean options. None of these are particularly, knock the table over options. Oh, she can't complain. Actually, I guess I can't. I should be grateful, actually. Working is hard, but living could be worse. Life could be better. Aren't you the janitor here? I mean, I feel like it's slightly accusatory. Like, is he saying the place is not so clean? The unnamed can tell she is straining her smile. There's an uncomfortable pause in the conversation. It's too late that the unnamed realise that Mrs. Yildirim expected them to complain about something or other. Your point being? Oh, well, nothing really. How come I see you so rarely? Oh, yeah, I mean, this is getting quite accusey. Okay, if you think that this person actually works here, you're now interrupting them in their off time. Just leave the workers alone. But we're playing it evil, so let's accuse them of just being a little bit slack. I'm not just the janitor here. I clean other places also. It must be difficult. And time-consuming. Yes. What does the landlord pay you? This lease. Oh, that doesn't sound legal. I'm paid this lease. Mrs. Yildirim, I'm sorry. Thanks. It is late. I don't have any cigarettes. Good night. Wow. One thing I like about indie games is that, with the big mainstream game that's written by like hundreds of people, well, not written by hundreds of people, but when 100 people make it, sometimes the edges are sort of shaved off, and you kind of get something that's a little bit super polished and super clean and very mainstream, but maybe lacking a little bit of like quirkiness or edge. And what I like about this game is the complete fixation on cigarettes. I'm not a smoker, but I'm just saying, you wouldn't get this. Would it surprise me if the person that made this was a smoker? No. Okay, this door looks special. I'll knock on it. Behind a door refurbished and polished to a sheen lies a dreary hole swallowed by whitewashed walls that flicker in perpetual TV static. So, my place. This is Miss Ison's place. After a few seconds of silence, she approaches and opens the door. Her nightgown is dirty and reeks of cigarettes. They basically found the one apartment block left in the city where people are allowed to smoke. Why, hello, who do we have here? The boy, but a girl, but a boy. Let me tell you, when you moved in here, dead name, you were half your current size. Half your current size, right. You were never going to be a girl like this. You were never going to be a girl like this, let me tell you. Haha, of course, Miss Dyson. Yes? Got a cigarette to spare? Pardon, dear? I said. Did I hear that right? Oh. Haha. You can not be serious, dear. Oh, no. I certainly do not have any handouts to give to somebody as you. Oh. I thought you and I were on friendly terms, and here you are asking me again for a gift, giving naught in return ever. How wrong I was. Pray tell, dead name. Oh. You vouched to clean up all those cigarettes you carelessly litter around the courtyard, and who else but I is relied upon, and everyone else to clean up after you. It's true. Leave it to the old woman. You consider yourself a reader. Oh, it's zooming through. I'm not clicking this. Oh, Any which way, I cannot give you even a single cigarette until you've paid me back for the ones you've already taken. I would certainly spare more if it were to go to the tobacconist for me, but oh dear, close 3 hours ago, you may just have to wait. Always a pleasure, Gertrude. Gertrude. Quite the opposite, dear. Pull your own damn weight soon, and for heaven's sake, eat less. Good night, Mrs. Ison. Pardon? I said good night, Mrs. Ison. That is miss to you. I'm liking the relationships between everyone in this apartment block. I often find, especially with people's first games, that the main character is a bit perfect. I've done that problem too. I think Tycho in 2 of my older games is a bit too perfect. But whoever made this game has absolutely nailed The unnamed quietly smiles to themselves before their knuckle meets the door of their friend. Oh, is this Anne's house? Oh god, who? They sway back and forth on their heels, waiting for one Anne Pirot? I'm gonna say Pirot. Romance novelist and self-proclaimed poet extraordinaire. Okay, I have a theory about writers in films and games, that it's almost always the person who wrote the game. It's their avatar character. And there she is, 'tis I, your gal pal. Hi Anne, how you doing, girlfriend? I haven't seen you leave your apartment for anything but a smoke this past week. Can't be healthy. Oh, I see. Ha. Well, you'll have to bear with my pleasantries first, whilst they're hot. How are you? I'm a nervous wreck, Anne. I can't sleep, I can't drink, I can't eat. Oh geez, you keep that kind of thing down usually. Is it that bad? Oh, I love it. I'm taking a screenshot of this because I'm loving this little character. One of the reasons we're doing this, the main reason we're doing this stream actually, is to take screenshots. Okay. Coming out with it, young lady. I love how the gendered words are highlighted. I think that is exceptionally brilliant design because it's just kind of giving this little extra weight to those words. And you feel it. You feel, yeah, it's genius. I feel bad in my body. It's the addiction, the itch. I locked myself out. Please don't call that. Please don't call me that, please. I feel bad in my body. Let's go number 1. Don't I know that feeling, baby? Remember, my office still stands. It will stand for the foreseeable future. The short-term foreseeable future. I've slipped into like a cyberpunk future vibe. And I instantly thought, like, I kind of expect that she's got like an operating table in the background with like a computer or something, but I don't think that's the case. Thank you, Anne. Did it help? Alright, yeah. Of course it would. Just the kind of thing that helps against... Oh dear. Dearie. Oh, what am I going to do with you? Can I do anything? Hug you? I don't know, it just seemed to skip the text. I don't know if that's a deliberate choice or whether there's something wrong with my off-brand gamepad. But, because it happened earlier with the neighbor as well. I just thought, like, maybe she was just rambling, as I often do. But we'll see. Understood. Hey, little one, trust me when I say this. It can get better. Kel horror. If I had a cigarette, I'd offer you one right now. I don't even have a lighter. Oh baby, I've got a veritable million of those. Suit yourself. Now, I'm led to believe in smoking culture that people are quite free and easy with their lighters, you know, because the vibe is one will always come back to me kind of thing. Which I think is quite nice. Which one do you want? Oh, do we get a choice, or is it like a game? Let's fly the flag, of course. Trans rights. Aha, a girl after my own heart. Here you are. The unnamed got a trans flag lighter. Thank you so... I mean, the skull one did look really cool. Thank you so much, Anne. Are you coming to smoke with me? Are you coming to smoke one with me? Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. I don't have any to spare. The cupboard and cupboard boxes are bare. No tail in sight. No smoke, no light. To hail the flame to burn so bright. Who said that? An extraordinary poet. Schmidt's probably got what you need. I can smell his flat from the other end of the building. Tell you what, if you want to loop around to gossip or need help, just let me know. Thank you, Anne. See you later. Tee-hee. We literally just came for cigarettes. It's a very real quest, you know. So many games are a bit like, you must save the kingdom from the sword of Mephistopheles. Here we are. Apartment 4 is empty. Alright, go back to Schmidt. Schmitty, our good mate Schmitty. The unnamed hears a commotion in the direction of their apartment. Uh-oh. We've been evicted, haven't we? Oh, that's cool. Screenshot that. Oh. Am I too close? Am I scaring you, officer? Look at the little Turkish missy playing Sheriff of Nottingham. This is really uncalled for. I clean up after you all the time. The least... Hey, don't act like you're anything more than a spineless doormat. Oh. Boo, Schmitty. I don't think we should be taking cigarettes. Horst, what's your... That's right. You'd smoke indoors too if you could. You're just too weak to try. Frankly speaking, Miss Yildirim, cleaning up after a man is just what you'd be best suited to. Come on, get on it. No? Pfft. No? Yes. I mean, no. I'm not going to stand this abuse just because my children were a little rambunctious. Try a whole heckin' dump truck of noise. It's just a little hot ash. How hard could it be for you to do as you're told? No, go back inside. Or do you want me to call up your dear employer for you to make you do it, huh? Clean it up. Slur. Just to think I was calling him Schmitty just about 30 seconds ago. This is an outrage. The reverberations of Schmidt's voice are heard through the halls of the building. Unignorable, yet nobody's complaining or doing anything. Oh, it's a good looking game. It is a good looking game. The dithering effect is to die for. Oh. How many colors is that? That is 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 colors, not including the red for the text boxes. That's genius. There we go, that's what I thought. Barely contained crying is audible. If your children make another peep, you're out of here. Mark my heckin' words. Oh look, you're here. You want something? Weren't you once a fireman? I failed to ask before. How goes the shipbuilding? Well, we don't wanna like call him out for his terrible treatment of our good friend Mrs. Yildirim. I am curious about the ship, but I do like firemen. Alright, weren't you once a fireman? Why, yes, boy. And why, pray tell, are you asking that at my doorstep at 10 p.m? We're past introductions, you and I thought. Well, I'm not gonna tell him off for smoking because that's my dream. But insulting his ships is kind of a mean thing to do. Aren't all those wooden model ships a fire hazard? Not really. Since when are you from the fire authority? If my ships were a fire hazard, then so would be the rest of my apartment. He lights a cigarette. My table, my chairs, my shelves, my books, even the floors, but they're not. I see a fire in this man's future. But they're not, trust me. Bought them without coding. You ever seen, I don't know, a piano on fire? Shiny, lack coating lights heck up like it's Christmas. Hold on. Did you seriously knock on my door at 10 p.m. just to judge me? If you have any other business with me than this insolent heck, you better say it now. May I have a cigarette? Sure, little man. Have a whole pack. Knock yourself unconscious on that sweet, sweet perfume. You know my cigarettes are self-rolled. I buy the tobacco from overseas. You'd better heckin' appreciate it. Okay, now I heard recently that only really island countries use the term overseas to describe other countries. So like Australia, we go, oh, you're going overseas. Oh, it's just overseas. I think in the UK, they say, oh, I'm going overseas. But if you're in like Germany, you're probably not going to say, I went overseas. So I'm wondering in this game, it could be Australian, it could be US, it could be UK. We'll see. It could be Japanese. And also falls unconscious and sleep. I mean, I don't know if that's true though about overseas versus into, I don't know how you describe it. If I couldn't use the word overseas, what would I say? I went to another country. I went international. That doesn't sound good. And quit disturb me while I'm building model ships. Okay, I've just been watching House of the Dragon. Just to date this video, season 1. I don't mind being a little bit zeitgeisty. And there's the King Viserys in it. And in the very first episode, I was like, oh, I think he's a bit miscast because the guy was very modern. Like, I felt like I was watching sort of this person from the year 2020 just sort of walked into this, fantasy world. But the most recent episode, episode 8, I think it's episode 8, just was the culmination of this sort of 8-episode journey for him. And oh my god, just unbelievable. October, when this was recorded. Easily the best television performance of the year. He did such a great job, not just in that final episode, or most recent episode, but like for the whole thing. And a big part, and I think the bit where I started to warm to him was when he was making his little model of his homes, of the city of his, grandparents. So now when I see the model ship thing, I was instantly taken back to old Valyria. I wish I could delete the last minute of commentary. Is this really okay? Yeah, sure, I roll 100 of them every day. Knock yourself out. The unnamed got some cigarettes. My grandmother was a chain smoker. As a kid, it was pretty unpleasant. Are they strong? Heck, little buddy, they sure are. They'll knock the wind out of ya. Now go have a pleasant smoke, and then scoot off the heck to bed. And make no more noise. That won't be possible. Locked myself out. Ooh, long night ahead, huh? I love the idea that this game takes place over an entire night. That is a fabulous idea for a game. Well, don't come crying to me about it. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just loving the vibe of this game so much. I'm kind of getting I want to say mid-20s, stuck. You just have those adventures when you're in your mid-20s, I guess, where you just kind of get locked out and you just spend the night walking the streets. Because you don't want to spend $600 on a repair person. I don't know what we're supposed to do next. Should we try leaving? We have given it, I think we've given it its half hour already. The thing is, I went a bit over time with the previous game, so I can't really go over time on this one. So we're actually going to have to wrap it up here. But fabulous. Nope. Shouldn't press that. Okay. What's this end? Disappear? No. Oh, maybe we can't save it. That would be a problem. Oh, to smoke and recover saves the game. Great. Okay. Stop for a smoke break. Oh. I don't know if that saved the game though. Oh, maybe if we just exit. Okay, I think it auto-saves, and when we come back in, it'll continue because I remember from the main menu it said continue. Oh, and that's cigarette smoke now, I think. All the mists of time. Fabulous. What can I say about that? It's very queer from the very first second. Characters were very well delineated. Drama. Breadcrumbs. Great world building, even though we were literally just in a hallway the whole time. And lovely little flourishes. Lots of polish. Yeah. That's 2 for 2 today, because the previous half of the stream was a game called Captive, and that was also extremely polished. And great world building as well. This is what I mean, Quick Games Heck Yeah is I've been doing it for about a week now, and I'm just blown away. I'm almost embarrassed at how good the games are. Like, I don't think I'm doing them justice on this stream at all. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I assume on the video. If you are watching this in the far distant future, hello from the past. Hope you survived the asteroid or that volcano in New Zealand. What about those politicians? Crazy, huh? But other than that, have a good day. See you all next time on Queer Games. Heck yeah. How do I turn this off? Okay, turn you off. That's great. And now we're gonna mute it.